Hey everyone, and welcome. Let's talk about perfume. You probably have a favorite scent, right? Something you spritz on without even thinking about it. But what if I told you there's a whole hidden world inside that little bottle? We're about to get into 9 things you probably didn't know about perfume. And trust me, some of these are going to blow your mind. So let's just kick things off with a wild thought. What if the most expensive thing about your favorite perfume isn't actually the perfume itself? Yeah, you heard me right. We're going to peel back the layers on this industry, which is full of mystery, luxury, and, well, a few secrets they'd rather keep under wraps. Let's get to it.
All right, first up, from smoke to perfume, where it all began. Before we dive into the wild world of modern fragrance, we've got to go way, way back, because the story of perfume started out, well, a lot simpler.
So, you know the word perfume? It actually comes from the Latin perfumum, which literally means through smoke. And that's our first big fact right there. The very first perfumes weren't liquids you spray on. Nope. They were actually incense. Just imagine people burning nice-smelling woods and resins during religious rituals, sending those scented prayers up to the heavens. Pretty cool, right? And you can literally trace this evolution through history. It starts way back in ancient Mesopotamia, where this incredible woman named Taputi, get this, is considered the world's very first chemist. She was already distilling flowers and oils. Then you've got the ancient Romans, who really made that term perfumum a thing with their incense. And then the ancient Egyptians, they're the ones who cracked the code for the first liquid perfumes by mixing plants and things in water and oils. So we went from smoke to a spray. Okay, so how did we get from burning a simple incense and mixing flowers and oil to the thousands and thousands of fragrances you see in department stores today? That's a huge leap, isn't it? Well, the answer is a wild mix of some serious chemistry, a ton of marketing, and yeah, a few big secrets. All right, let's talk about the modern scent machine and the secrets of the industry. This is where things get really interesting, and I promise you are never going to look at that perfume bottle on your shelf the same way again. You know this image. We all do. It just screams elegance, luxury, sophistication. The ads sell us this story of a rare, precious liquid, a little bottle of memories or feelings. But when you shell out all that money for a designer perfume, what are you really paying for? Because here's the kicker. The actual fragrance, the juice inside the bottle, is often the cheapest part of the whole thing. I'm not kidding. It can cost more to make the fancy bottle, the heavy cap, and that nice box than it does to make the liquid scent. So what you're really paying for is the packaging, all those ads, and of course, the brand name. The scent itself, not so much. So, okay, what is in that liquid then? Well, the perfumers who create these scents have a massive toolkit to work with. We're talking over 4,000 different ingredients they can choose from. That's just a staggering number, and it's why there are so many unique fragrances out there. But here's the catch. Those formulas, they're treated like top-secret government files. They're considered trade secrets, and this means companies don't have to tell you what's in them. They can just slap the word fragrance or parfum on the back of the box, and that one little word can cover a whole cocktail of different chemicals. We really have no idea what's in there. So you have to wonder, if these companies have this library of over 4,000 scents, where else are they using them? Because it's definitely not just in those expensive perfume bottles. You'll find them pretty much everywhere. In your cleaning products, in your air fresheners, and get this, even in your potato chips. Yep, the very same giant corporations that make your high-end luxury perfumes are also creating the scents for your laundry detergent and the artificial flavorings for some of your favorite snacks. It's all one huge scent and flavor industry. Okay, so for this last part, a scent of your own, let's make this personal. We've gone through the history, we've peeked behind the curtain of the industry, but what does all of this actually mean for you and me when we choose a scent? Okay, think about this. We've been told our whole lives that some smells are for men and some are for women, right? Floral for her, woody for him. Well, here's another industry secret. That's almost entirely made up by marketing. Chemically, it's pretty much impossible to tell the difference. In fact, one of the first really popular unisex fragrances came out way back in 1994 and totally challenged that whole idea. And this all leads to a really, really important question. With all these thousands of secret ingredients hiding behind that one little word, fragrance, can they actually affect our bodies? I mean, we are spraying this stuff directly onto our skin day after day. And for a lot of people, the answer is a big yes. That super complex, hidden mix of chemicals can trigger some very real physical reactions. We're talking about headaches, even full-blown migraines for some, and allergic skin reactions like rashes or hives. And because of this, there's a whole movement growing for fragrance-free zones. As more of us become aware of how sensitive people can be to these strong smells, there's a big conversation happening. People are starting to ask, hey, maybe we shouldn't be wearing strong perfume in the office or at the theater. And some are even hoping they'll get banned in certain public places.
So from ancient smoke to this massive, multi-billion-dollar industry full of secrets, the world of perfume is way more complex than it looks. Which leaves us with one last question for you to think about. With thousands of secret ingredients in every single bottle, what are you really spritzing on your skin? Thanks for joining me on this explainer.